What's up guys, I'm Chris and today you're watching a magic review on the Box Peak by Tom Phoenix. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. If you haven't, please consider subscribing, give the video a thumbs up, click that notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. Also, don't forget to join the Chris Edwards Magic Secret Access group over on Facebook. Alright, so today we are looking at the Box Peak by Tom Phoenix. So what is the Box Peak? This is a peak device that is built into a regular playing card box. So basically this allows you to get a full peak on a folded billet or business card using something that everybody is familiar with, a deck of cards or a box. Now you can store cards in here when the peak isn't being used. So you can do a routine with a deck of cards and then go into your mentalism so that it all looks very organic. So basically what this looks like, I'll explain the rubber band here in a second, but your participant can write down their thought, word, or picture. From there, they can fold it up and you'll take it back, set it into the box, and then just like that you get your peak. So I can see what I need to see right now. Obviously you do some misdirection, maybe move something out of the way just to get it so that it's in your natural line of sight and your peak has been achieved. So what do you get? So you're just going to get a link, and this is a do-it-yourself project. We'll go over that in a little bit, but all you need is a deck of cards. There are a few other things that you will need to use to make this, but you probably have them lying around the house. If you do need to purchase any additional materials, it's going to cost, probably less than a couple dollars, if that. So what's the quality? So the quality is going to be 100% based on how much time and effort you want to put into this. The quality can be very, very good, but again, that's all going to depend on you. Tom goes over everything in full detail, how to make this and how to make the best version possible. Now you do have different options with that. So when you're making this, you will want to have a locking mechanism on this when it's not being used. Basically, Tom gives you three options. Now only two are advertised because the third option may cause you to go and have to spend some additional money because it uses like a magnetic locking system, basically. So if you don't have the magnets, you may need to purchase them. Aside from that, there is a locking mechanism that will add about 15 minutes to your construction. It looks really good. It looks like there's no additional parts to this. Or there's the really simple locking mechanism, which I went for, which is just a rubber band. Now, the justification for a rubber band is just simply to keep the lid closed, right? So that cards aren't falling out or whatever, right? Because that's happened before. Basically, if you are working at a gig and you're using a deck of cards and you're opening and closing the box a lot, the flap can come loose, I guess, or worn to where it can just open. So perfect justification for having the rubber band, and I don't think anybody's going to question it, to be honest. So yeah, overall, if you put the time into this, the quality is going to be really good. Now this can be shown from all sides. There's nothing for anybody to see, right? So I think it looks really good too. Very innocent and deceptive. Difficulty level. So the majority of the difficulty is going to lie in constructing this. Now, Tom goes over everything in full detail. He goes, I think there's 5 different parts to the video, or 5 different files. There's the main one, and then there's also, just additional tips, features, and things like that. So very easy to follow along, very detailed, and at a good pace too. So you're not going to feel rushed trying to watch this and follow along. He goes over it in real time, and it's very well done. The difficulty in using the peak itself is extremely easy. Basically, you put the folded billet in, and in the action of even just setting it down briefly, it's done, right? So very easy to do. Angles. So the angles on this are really good. It's similar to other peaks. You can do this almost surrounded. So, if you have people on the sides of you, you can basically just be holding the deck, talking like this. And just by holding it like this, you're going to be covered from pretty much all angles other than yours. So, obviously, if people are looking down behind you, that's not good. But you almost have a full 360 that can be covered, which is really, really good. Setup and reset. There is no setup or reset. It's an instant reset. Arts and crafts. Yeah. I mean, this will take you probably, 15, 20 minutes to construct in full. If you are adding the more advanced locking mechanism, maybe tack on another 10, 15 minutes. I think it is worth it if you want to do it, but I think at the same time, the rubber band is just as good. So that's the only reason I went that route. Can it be inspected? I wouldn't say so. I mean, if you're using the other locking mechanism, then it is, probably examinable. But I wouldn't, right? And really, there should be no reason. Everybody is already familiar with a card box, and the fact that you can show it all the way around kind of shows that there's nothing for anybody to see. It doesn't seem out of place or suspicious. And also the fact that your deck of cards came out of here, I think also adds to the organic nature of this. Pocket space. So that's the other nice thing about this is if you are doing card work or anything, if you have cards in your mentalism, or if you're a magician / mentalist, you can carry your cards in here. It's not taking up any additional pocket space. So basically you're going to be carrying a deck of cards with you anyway. Now you just have an extra tool taking up no extra space. Is this a worker and who would use this? So I'd say this is definitely a worker. It's great for people who are in working situations because of the reasons I've already listed, right? You can do your card magic or card mentalism, and then you have this additional tool. I think the fact that the angles are really good, and also there's nothing obscuring the peak, like you don't have to worry about lighting or anything like that. And the fact that things can be folded. Now you don't need to fold the billet, right? You can just set a billet or business card in here face down. You're gonna get the same peak. I just think the folded billet adds an extra layer of impossibility, and the way that this works and the properties of, well, I'm not going to go into that. That could be somewhat exposing, but I think just because the way this works, it's extremely practical and it works very well. So it's the price, and is it worth your money? So like I said, you're just getting you're getting video files. The regular price is $25. This is on sale right now at Skyward Magic, which is Tom's website, for $17. I would say that this is worth the money. I think it's an extremely clever and practical peak device that functions on different levels, carrying your cards and then having the option of really deceptive peak. Pros and cons, positives, negatives. I think there are a lot of positives to this that I've went over. The only negative is that if you are not a do-it-yourself person, if you don't like arts and crafts, then this isn't for you, right? Because you do have to construct this. There's no pre-made option, right? So that's really the only negative, not for me, but for those who don't like arts and crafts, then yeah, you're probably not going to want to go with this route. But again, it's very easy to make. It doesn't take a long time. And because the cellophane stays on, which it's not really part of the method, so I don't feel like I'm exposing anything there. The only reason I mention that the cellophane stays on is because it's just going to add a little bit more durability to this, because I know some people may think, it's a card box. How many of these am I going to have to make? Is it going to wear out quick? Am I going to be making a new one every few performances? That's why I mentioned the cellophane, because the fact that it's on there, this is going to last you quite a while. Now for me, if I'm doing a lot of card work, I'm probably going to carry this and a regular deck of cards, just because, eventually it will wear out. But again, it's very inexpensive to make, doesn't take a lot of time. So it's not a negative for me. It's just something that I should mention, because not everybody is a do-it-yourself person. So with that, if you have any questions, comments, just ask in the section below. I will do my best to get you the answer. And with that, we'll see you at the next review.